Alright, so what we've got today is 4 battles. A single, a double, and 2 multi-battles, using a team comprised entirely of Gen 3 Pokemon. And right off the bat here, we're going to start with a single battle against somebody using a hacked shiny, of course. So, my Gardevoir comes out, and Gardevoir kind of has a mixed...
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
A mixed performance in these battles. Sometimes Gardevoir does decently, sometimes it goes down quick, sometimes it sweeps a team. And so, takes out that Iron Bundle pretty quick. Mew comes out. Now Gardevoir's got some good physical, or special defense rather, but so does Mew, so they're kind of exchanging blows here, neither doing an enormous amount of damage. Mew's about a 3-hit KO, and Gardevoir would probably take 2 more, maybe 3 more Earth Powers. So I pull out the Mystical Fire, one of the underrated fire moves in my opinion. Take Mew out with that. So Charizard's coming in next. And I always love seeing Charizard. I know it's overrated, but Charizard's always been one of my favorites. It takes out Gardevoir with a Heat Wave. So I think, okay, send out a Water type, my shiny Melodic. It'll resist that Heat Wave, and if I can manage to land a Hydro Pump, it'll take it down. Now, I don't know what they were thinking here with Solar Beam.
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
I don't know if they were gambling on me missing Hydro Pump or being able to tank a weaker water move, but they basically gave me the free turn for Hydro Pump, which, you know, I'm not going to complain about it. So then Dialga comes in, and typically I am not a big fan of going up against legendaries, but if it's, you know, 1 or 2, oh, I'm okay with that. You know, I often have a legendary on these region teams. It's the whole teams of legendaries that bug me. And here I do a little bit of trolling, because I've got Recover on this Melodic, and that Draco Meteor is really not doing a whole lot, and does less every turn because of the special attack drop. So it keeps Draco Meteoring. It's now -2 in special attack, and I'm just constantly recovering, getting Melodic back to full health. And then here finally, it's got its special attack minimized, and I'm like, okay, now's the time to attack. Finish it off with a Disrespect Ice Beam. I guess it's not that Disrespect since it is a Dragon type, but the Steel typing does make it neutral damage. So there's that legendary down, and my Melodic with more health than it started with. And then we've got, I think this is Chi-Pao. I'm bad with the Ruin Pokemon names, but I think that's Chi-Pao. Real cool one. I don't have anything super effective here, so I just go with Hydro Pump since that's my strongest move. I knew its next Throat Chop would take out Melodic, but that Chi-Pao is now in the red. Easy prey for anything else I send out. So, of course, a Hoenn team has to have Blaziken. Shout out to anybody cool enough to notice this name reference. And that Giga Impact, I can tell they were trying for a quick one-hit kill because they knew this was going to wreck their team. But fortunately, my Blaziken Scootaloo is able to tank that Giga Impact pretty well. And as most Blazikens you see online are, this is my Speed Boost Blaziken, so every turn it'll get +1 to speed. Now this is not a great matchup for me. Ground obviously is bad news for fire. And fortunately for me, I'm going to say fortunately, they Terra into Earth, because Dragon resists fire pretty good. I don't actually remember if Ground does, but I knew it didn't resist fighting, so I went with a double kick. But I mean, as soon as you saw Flygon, you knew that my Blaziken was not going to last long. That Earthquake finishes it off, no problem. Could have taken it out with a one hit had that Blaziken been at full health. So here comes my legendary, the shiny Rayquaza. I actually have 2 Rayquazas. I've got a shiny one that has special moves, like the one you see here, and I've got a physical one that is not shiny, just because I love Rayquaza and I love its moveset, so wanted to have both of those there. Now with this Flygon going down, that is actually the end of the battle. My Rayquaza comes in just long enough to get the victory, so thank you, random Japanese child, for that battle. Now we've got, I think this is the double battle, if I remember right, because, you know, God forbid I watch these before I do the commentary. Yes, this is a double battle against, I think, a full or almost full team of hacked shinies. But, you know, credit where it's due, those are pretty good Pokemon. I love Fluttermane, because Mismagius and Misdreavus are my favorite ghost types, and...
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
Who doesn't love a Lowland Graveler? So...
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
Now you're seeing one of my Pokemon on my Hoenn team that doesn't get a lot of use. Seviper is really not a great Pokemon. It's not awful, but it's not good, but I love it. So I made a point to put it on here, and going up against a Fairy type, it actually managed to do me some good there. Now, with Seviper being so low on health, I knew whatever hit it next was going to take it out. It was always going to be a one-shot kind of existence here.
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
Water versus Ghost and Fire, though, is not a good matchup for my opponent. Now, I think they underestimated the bulk that my, God, what is that Pokemon's name? Melodic had, because that Leaf Blade, I feel like they expected to be a 2-hit KO. And honestly, I expected it to do more than that, but... You know, here comes Gardevoir again, real tanky on the special side, and manages to take that Ice Beam real easily.
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
Also goes on to pick up the one-hit KO on the Iron Valiant, a Pokemon that can be pretty threatening if you let it get set up.
Someone is a gigantic noob.
Oh, and they gave up. What a loser. So now we've got the first of 2 multi-battles, and I love multi-battles. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know that they're frustratingly hard to get into, but they are my favorite type of battle. So I send out my Gardevoir, and I'm paired up with an unfortunately hacked shiny Rhyperior, and I'm up against a Grimmsnarl here and a hacked Scarlet. So I figure this
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
This Grimmsnarl's an easy one-hit KO with the Fairy move and the same type attack bonus. The Scarlet with Phantom Force, Phantom, whatever, is going to be more frustrating, though, because it's going to spend every other turn invulnerable. So, out comes the Dragonite, and I know this is going to be a multi-scale Dragonite. Everyone you see online is. And it Terra's normal, which is not great, because that means my Fairy moves are only going to be regularly effective, and Rhyperior's not going to be able to do anything special against it.
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
That normal Terra is also going to give Extreme Speed a boost with its already strong physical attack stat. Fortunately, Rhyperior's got some bulk here. Unfortunately, the multi-scale and lack of flying typing means that that Stone Edge, even with the same type attack bonus, is not going to be terribly effective against the Dragonite. Now, my Blaziken manages to just barely tank that Extreme Speed, so I'm hoping I can get some damage done with my Fighting type here. Not quite the damage I was hoping for, although having the multi-scale broken did help, but I will take what I can get. I do wish they would stop trying to target that Scarlet when they know it's going to do Phantom Force. My opponent here, no, sorry, not my opponent, my partner here, I get the feeling is either fairly new to Pokemon or fairly young, just with some of the questionable strategic moves that they make. It gives me the vibe of a younger player who doesn't really have a good grasp of online tactics. And I don't necessarily mean that as a criticism. You know, that used to be me. All of us were like that at one point. But just some of the moves that they made, I got the vibe of a less experienced online trainer. So here comes my Rayquaza, sort of my last hope to try to pull this around since 2 of my 3 are already down. I go Terra on it. I've got Terra Dragon on this Rayquaza because what I want to do is be able to double down on the power of Dragon Pulse, since so little resists Dragon. Worst case scenario, it's neutral damage to just about everything. Now, of course, with how weak the partner's Moltres was, that was obviously going to be an extreme speed. And unsurprising Phantom Force there. Knew that was going to happen, so I targeted Dragonite with this Dragon Pulse, hoping to finish it off, and I am able to. Dragonite resists, at least from my experience, tends to be bulkier against physical moves than against special moves, at least with the way most people tend to train it. So replacing that Dragonite, we have a Primarina here. And that's not going to be a huge obstacle if things play out in my favor. And what I mean by that is some luck with speed that did not happen. That Phantom Force took my Rayquaza down to almost no health, and then the Primarina outsped it, finishing it off with that Moonblast that, honestly, it probably could have taken that out from full health. Fairy-type moves with that same type attack bonus are just devastating to Dragon types. So, we've got a Phantom Force little competition here, and again,
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
I really feel like the way that played out sort of illustrated the relative lack of skill and just online awareness of my ally there. Because you would have known, or should have known in my opinion, that that's a real risky matchup, going not only Ghost against Ghost, but also when you know exactly what move your opponent's going to use, and you know it is likely to be very close to a one-hit, even if you were at full health. So in sort of a last-ditch effort here, they Terra Rock their Rhyperior. Now, there's some serious bulk there. You saw how little that Water-type move did, but Rhyperior does not have a ton of bulk with the
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
special side of things. Does manage to take out that annoying Scarlet, but with the health as it is, with all my Pokemon down, and with 2 of its down, there was no victory to be had here. We were just beaten. And I'm not going to blame it all on my ally there. You know, I got a couple of bad luck hits there, and a couple of moves that I probably could have planned better, but, you know, my team was definitely the one at a disadvantage, regardless of which of us we want to lay more blame on. Either way, win or loss, multi-battles are fun. Had a great time, so thank you to my teammate and to my 2 opponents there. Now here for this last battle. This is my favorite, that's why I saved it for last. Another multi-battle, and this is really going to showcase how a well-trained Gardevoir with a good strategy can really turn things around in your favor and snag the victory for you. So I've got my Gardevoir and a shiny Heracross up against the Dialga, blanked on that name, and the Clauncher. And that Roar of Time,
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
I've always thought was a real cool move, but it's not always great to use online because it does require you to wait that turn to recharge. However, that really didn't matter here because that Dialga was going to go down anyway. Now, I don't know who Clauncher was originally trying to target with that Dragon Pulse. Maybe it had originally targeted Heracross and just got redirected to my Gardevoir when the Heracross went down, but Fairy-type negates it. And Miraidon also tried to use Outrage on my Gardevoir.
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
I don't know if they both, forgot that Fairy is immune to Dragon or what, but that's 2 Dragon moves.
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
Not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, though. I'll take the W. A win's a win. So, now they're going to send out, let's see, what is this? Palkia, other Gen 4 Legendary, can't knock it. And a Goodra. Again, 2 dragons. This...
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
This opposing team is kind of perfectly suited to get wrecked by my Gardevoir.
Gone! It's a one-hit wonder!
Like, it's kind of boring to some extent, just press A to win, but it's also kind of cool just to watch my Gardevoir sweep it. And here's where I question my opponent. I don't know why they sent a dragon move against that Gardevoir. I also accidentally chopped out the start of that turn where my ally sent out that Skelly Dirge, but whatever, it was fairly inconsequential to that turn anyway. But of course, here we go with the hacked, what is that, Roaring Flame, Roaring Fire, whatever, the Paradox Entei. And I love the Paradox forms of the Johto Beasts. I think they're awesome. Always love seeing them show up in battle. I use Walking Wake quite a bit. But I don't get it. Why would you keep using dragon moves if you know they're not going to affect my Gardevoir? That's the 3rd time this opponent has done that. And now that pretty much sealed it. You know, taking a little bit of damage there with that Shadow Ball and having a special defense drop, it was never going to live my Moonblast. So anyway, that was an easy victory there. Swept it pretty much with my Gardevoir. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed those. Catch you next time.